Hello, and welcome to another episode of Soft Focus with Jake and Jonah. We have been on a 2-year hiatus, but we are back at the pressing issue of F1's release. We just couldn't resist not hopping on the podcast. How you doing, Jonah?
I'm doing great, Jake. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. So
Amazing.
We'll just jump right in. F1. What are your
Are we
immediate
leading
thoughts?
off with F1?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's why we're here. Let's get it.
It's just a classic story. I like people in my theater were like laughing throughout the movie, like in a this is so corny, but like eating it up at the same time type of way. Like, I don't know about you. Like, I gotta pace a little bit. I'm gonna pace when I do this. Yeah.
How full was your theater?
I made it a point to go to the Burbank Theater, which is like I think it's the busiest AMC in the world.
Okay.
So I was like, I want to see this. So I did like the IMAX there, which isn't a real IMAX, but honestly, I prefer that because the real IMAX, I don't know if did we go to the one in Georgia together ever?
I think so.
Like the legit IMAX in Regal?
Yeah,
Georgia?
I've been there at least at some point,
Like, I remember seeing Dune there, and like, yeah, it was awesome, but like, I had a headache at the end because it was just so fucking loud and big. So I think I prefer the fake IMAX, honestly, where it's like not as loud and not as big, but still big.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, every showtime I looked at was packed. I don't know about you.
Yeah, here in Georgia, I saw it on a Tuesday night, and I'd say it was pretty full for a Tuesday night. Like,
Yeah.
you don't expect much, and I know we're not even a full... It came out last weekend, didn't it? Like, we're not even a full week out, or today would be a week it's been out, right?
It might be, yeah.
So...
Yes. Yeah, it's got to be. The first weekend.
I had probably a half-full theater, which for Georgia at the Perimeter Point one on a Tuesday, I was like, that's pretty good.
Oh, yeah. That theater's, like, dying, too.
Exactly. So
It's
I was
super,
like,
yeah.
It's bringing the people out. It didn't make... I know Top Gun, like, pushed, like, 170 million its opening weekend. I feel like I saw in the U.S. F1 made, like, 60 million? Did you look in that?
Yeah, I was actually just looking at that. it might have made, like, 60 or something, but I know it made, like, 150 worldwide, which is, like, super good worldwide, but for a movie, like... But this is, like, such a worldwide movie.
Yeah. I have no worries about this movie making its money back. I think it'll be in theaters for a long time. Yeah, it looks like 72 million opening week. 57 million opening weekend. Yeah.
And when it's, like, funded by Apple, they really don't, like, care about making money, but I think this one will. Yeah, I think I liked it. I think I felt like something was missing still. I don't know what it was, but like something that made it. It was still like an amazingly well done movie. Just like, why isn't this hitting me as hard as like Top Gun?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Did Top Gun hit you hard?
Top Gun Maverick, I feel like hit me harder than this. Like, it was a little more like electric. I felt like the flight. Maybe
Yeah.
I think flight in general in movies is like always hits better than anything else.
Yeah.
Like, it has this. It's like the Wicked. Like, even Wicked, when she was flying, I was feeling it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess, yeah, thinking about it, because I watched it recently, there's something a little more raw about Top Gun Maverick. Like, when they come out of, like, when it's the final mission and they dip down, Rooster gets the shot without the tracking, and then they come up out of it, and they're immediately tailed by missiles and jets. That's just, like, my second rewatch, I'm like, this is the coolest freaking thing I've ever seen.
No, yeah, there's just, like, way more to play with. Like, something, like, I was almost thinking about it during the movie. I'm like, what are they going to do to, like, make me, like, sit, like, clench in my seat at the end of this? Like, what are they going to do for the big finish?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. I feel like sports movies are limited in that way, where especially that there's been all sorts of sports movies and all the different sports that like to come up with that like crazy ending, you know, whatever you want to call it, like the buzzer beater or you know, as just a general term for like the ending of a sports movie. We're kind of like limited to where it's like, you know, if we expect the character to win, there's only so many things that can really be done, especially in like a racing movie, for that final moment.
Yeah, I think racing probably has it maybe the hardest of like any sport movie. Because if I think about like baseball or basketball, like there's a way you could shoot it with like the way a human being is like physically doing something and the crowd and everything, but like with a car it's so limited to like just his eyes. There's no like physical feat being done that can be like shot cool.
Right.
And there's not really any crowd reaction shots either that you can really like, I don't know, it's not as intense. I don't know, it's not as like the crowd isn't as, I think, like physically invested in what the athlete's doing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I do hear you. I was just thinking of exactly what you're saying. I think the makers of Talladega Nights, when they faced it, that's why they came up with their dumb ending of the crash, and then they have to get out of the car and run for the finish line, which is just such a great idea. Like
that's such a good call. Oh my gosh, because they were probably having that issue. They're like, we've already seen this, you know, a million times.
How do we make
what
this
are we gonna
epic?
do different?
How do we make this epic? It's like, all right, they
No,
crash
100%.
and they've got to sprint for the finish, and I absolutely love it.
100%.
And like,
what?
All of them do it. Like
No,
Cars had the same thing where it's like he was gonna win, and he just stops at the finish line. He goes back, pushes the old guy across, but meanwhile the green mustache guy wins. It's like, yeah, all racing movies do. Like, you can't just have like the race end, and that's what this movie did. Like, they just had the race end because obviously it's a movie. It's gonna take itself seriously, unlike Cars or Talladega Nights. Yeah, it definitely, I wasn't, I wasn't as moved. You know, Top Gun 2, we're talking military, this or that, so it's life or death. So there's only so much emotion that can be spiked in this final moment. And then just to even get even more hyper specific with the moment, I did like the actual moment, right? Like we'll get to
I agree.
Him flying through the last lap and the younger guy crashing kind of on purpose to open it up for him. We'll talk about those things, but like, at least for me, it was like the first thing I talked about with my brother after we got out of the theater. It was just like he's like been flying and it's kind of like quiet, and then like he kind of comes around and he sees the finish line and he's going towards it, and the guy in his mic, like, I forget exactly what he says, but he's like you did it, you won, and then he crosses the finish line, then the music hits, but it's like it was like in the silence of the moment right before it's all about to go down, you just hear the guy yell, "You did it, you won!" And like I don't know if you caught that, but I like that.
I'll have to see it again. Yeah. No, I think I agree in the sense where it's like they did it as well as you can do it. I think like when it got quiet and he was going through and whatever, like this is where I'm saying like people kind of chuckled, but they still like were into it. Is like when she's like, "He's flying," or whatever. Like everyone kind of smirked. But I don't know if that's like a California thing though, because everyone like here I think is so much more into movies than the average city. That like they know the tropes so much better. I don't know, but like even with a chuckle like that, like it's still like I agree with it. Got me with I probably will see it again though, just for like the filmmaking of it all.
Yeah, well, that's my big takeaway from the movie as a whole, which is I'm like, you'd be hard pressed to sit me down and be like, pick an objectively cooler movie. Like, you could take the coolest guy in the world and be like, hey, let's watch this movie, and no part of him would be like unimpressed. I feel like it's just the coolest. This is lame. It's the coolest freaking movie ever. Like, it's just slick. It's Brad Pitt. there's nothing like the melodrama or whatnot that's in it is like, not like really anything at all, and it's, just racing, and it's, because it's Kaczynski, it's all actually the race cars. Like, it was my takeaway. I was like, this is just a cool ass movie. Like, I probably give it only a 9, but like I want to give it a 10.
Only a 9.
Yeah, only a 9. I want to give it a 10 just because it's like there's no. It is one of those movies. There's no human on earth you could sit down, have them watch it, and like they're in the wrong if they're like, I didn't think that movie was cool.
Yeah, it's like, then you're just not cool.
Yeah.
I hate to break it to you.
Yeah, I don't want to know what you think is cool if F1's not cool.
I mean, it's just like, there's also something so interesting to me about like the era we're in with movie stars. Like, we're still, like, Brad Pitt is still a cooler movie star at age 60 than any of the young guys. And when he was even like 40, like, he's still cooler than all of them. So we have to get him for this movie.
He makes Glenn Powell look like feminine a little bit.
Oh, we got Glenn Powell. I do like Glenn Powell is definitely like growing on me more and more. Not that I ever like disliked Glenn Powell, but like I've always liked him. But now I'm like, oh, I really dig his, because he's the only one who's trying to do it the way they did.
Yeah, yeah. But even so, it's just like today's movie star like can't be as cool as Brad Pitt. It's like you kind of have to like, you got to be a little cheeky. You got to be a little cheeky, a little funny. But like Brad Pitt is literally like just the essence of cool when he's in a vein like this,
Oh, totally. Like, yeah, Glenn Powell is always kind of being a little tongue-in-cheek.
Mm-hmm.
Brad Pitt's just like,
he's trying to charm you. Brad Pitt's like not trying to charm you. He just is charming.
And he just does.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's kind of something I've accepted about Brad Pitt. Like, watching Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I'm like, you cast this guy to just like exist in your movie, and then cool. Like, yeah, like the work kind of is the acting work is kind of like, I just wonder how much work he does, or if he just walks in there and he just like says the lines
for Cliff
and just leaves.
Yeah, couldn't be
like,
too
not that
much.
but that's kind of what's makes it work in this way. Yeah, and I just felt like this is maybe a comment on, we need like a producer like Jerry Bruckheimer to step up I think he's like pushing 90.
Stop.
I don't know how old he is.
That's crazy.
He's pretty old though, I think. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't want to shit on Jerry Bruckheimer's age, but he's probably, let me look. He's probably 80 something.
Regardless, I don't think
81.
You're shitting on his age.
I don't want to
misrepresent.
I don't want to misrepresent, make someone feel older. But yeah, 81. So, and he's making like, this is such like, something I noticed is like, it's such like a old school cowboy type of movie. I mean, they say it in the movie, but like, he walks in, he does the deed, and he just leaves. Like, he's like, I'm too cool to celebrate. You know?
Yeah.
Like, it's so like Western coded. You know what I mean?
I see. Yeah.
Like, he rolls into town looking all cool, like shows the young buck how it's done, and it's like the end of the Western when the cowboy like kills the enemy and then leaves the town for the next adventure.
It's like the essence of manhood, which is it's like if you thought any part of me did this for anything else but myself, you're wrong. And it's like I put that kind of I guess too colorfully, but like that's the essence. It's like Brad Pitt's character is beyond happy that like he's helping the girl engineer, he's helping Javier Bardem, and he is doing it for all of them, but it's like to actually do it, he's like, it has to be for me. And then that's what comes out when he goes alone. I feel like, I don't know, that's what I feel like, that trend of
I see you.
manhood in the Cowboys movies. It's like they save the town, but they're not doing it for the praise. They're not doing it for anything else other than like it's the right thing to do. And you got them tripping if you think it's anything else.
It's very American. Like, it's very like, it's just very like, yeah, I agree with you.
It's exciting.
Yes. And I think that that's what people want, like that ideal in a movie. Just like someone doing something because they love it, whether that be like Tom Cruise flying a plane or Brad Pitt driving a car. Just like someone working towards something and achieving it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're seeing, because Aaron Kruger wrote both these movies, and with the help of Kaczynski, but I feel like that common trend of like old guy who's, out of the, with these two movies, old guy who's like out of the loop gets back in the loop. Like, I feel like, because Aaron Kruger like started like in the 90s. He wrote Scream 3, I know, but Transformers was like his bigger one. But
Love.
it's like he clearly feels like he's this like older guy, and so it's like it's nice that we're getting this older ideal for him. That's like it's not a nostalgia play. It's just like I feel like it's like an essence of movie that like nobody accesses anymore, and clearly it still resonates.
Oh, totally. I mean, I don't know if it's, I was thinking about it during it, and I kind of want to rewatch Gran Turismo because I liked that movie a lot more.
That was sick. Yeah,
like that movie just like did not get the love it deserved.
It's
like that was a movie I watched.
Yeah,
there you go.
I was just gonna say it's not as good as F1, but like as far as feeling it, I felt Gran Turismo like 16 times more.
Oh my god. Like Gran Turismo I actually watched, funny enough, and thought, how did he make this? More than I thought that during F1.
Really?
Like F1 was so clean. F1 is like the cleanest movie I've ever seen. Like there's no like all the camera like everything is just so precise and perfect.
Mm-hmm.
But like there's a couple shots in the racing where I was like, I don't know how they shot this. But like I can think about it like, oh, they put it on a car and they did this. But like there was something about the way Neil Blomkamp made, I think was that who did that?
Yeah. That sounds right.
It just felt like he just added a scale to it that felt like unreal to me in sometimes at some points. And let me see. I just want to make sure I'm right. Yeah. Like there's something about the racing scenes that I just felt more connected to the characters. I felt like this is something about Gran Turismo also. Like I don't remember the ending, granted. But like I remember feeling more. I remember like crying during the ending. And like something so triumphant about it.
Yeah. No.
And also like Gran Turismo had the balls to like kill someone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like when Damson just crashes, he's fine in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like nothing happened basically to him.
It was a scary looking
like,
crash, and it had me for a moment. But yeah, it was like deep down, I'm like, I don't think they're killing him off right now.
Yeah, they just didn't have they couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Which would have really raised the stakes.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Like, or make him like he can't drive anymore. His hands are actually broken.
Right, and that's just trying to spike that emotional like beat in our chest watching a movie, and it's like I feel like that's what we value. Like when we say feeling it, it's like trying to just spike that emotion in our soul, and like, I think some films, like that's not their barometer of like how enjoyable how enjoyable a movie is. That like I feel like for Kaczynski and Kruger, I feel like it's evident in the cleanness of how it's shot and whatnot. With like it's more of like a vibe piece. Like it's got the emotional this or that, but at the end of the day, they're like, we're not trying to like emotionally get you go change your life after this is over. We just want you to like walk out of the theater and be like, that was cool.
No, I mean, but it's also one of those things. It's like I don't even know if you can like manufacture it. Like it's almost like you make the movie and you just hope it hits emotionally. Like I just don't even know how you.
So like, you think
does that make sense?
Yeah. So you're saying that like Kaczynski and Kruger, like if they could have made it more emotionally impactful, they would, but like they just that they don't have that gear. Like not like in a bad way, but like that wasn't something that came out of this film.
Well, I think maybe because I'm not there yet, I don't know if it's something you manufacture or if it's something you kind of just get lucky if you hit it, if that makes sense. Like, if you look at the scripts for Gran Turismo and F1, they're relatively similar in a lot of ways, you know, same beats. It's a racing sports movie.
Mm-hmm.
Both have tropes, different tropes, but the same tropes. Like, David Harbour's almost more the Brad Pitt character, and we're almost following the Damson Idris character in Gran Turismo.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, and I don't know if Neil Blomkamp has, like, if he's a better emotional filmmaker than Joseph Kosinski, but somehow I felt more in that. Like, I just don't know what. Yeah, maybe I don't think Joseph Kosinski was like, I want to make you cry,
And jump.
not in like a.
Yeah,
but
make
like,
you jump out of your seat cheering at the end. It's like, again, it makes me, it's like something more manlier. It's like, I feel like for me, it's like a difference between like boyhood and manhood with these two films, where it's like Gran Turismo is like boyhood, like, you know, it's going to be the emotional ups and downs. And like, yeah, I left the theater being like, you know, I'm like, how can I go change my life right now forever? Because I'm so inspired. But like F1 is like more jaded, more manhood, where it's just like, it's like, yeah, you know, it's like
all in a day's work.
Yeah, that's just how it is.
Yeah.
Like, movie's over, like, get back to your life.
Yeah, and that's what Brad Pitt did. Brad Pitt like just got back to his life, which
Yeah.
kind of was weird to me also a little bit. Like like, is he gonna see Carrie Condon again?
I think
Like,
so. Yeah, he's like, I'll see you down the
said
road.
that. I feel like they were just, I think they were sticking so close to that Western vibe. I genuinely think they were like, we got to make this like a Western. She literally says, "You're just an old school rough and tumble cowboy." Like,
She
that they
says
were like, he
she says
can't
that like
be with the
15
girl at the
times
end.
in the movie. If you haven't seen it, she says
Yeah.
that exact line like 20 times. It's crazy.
Is she really? I just remember the one time.
No, I'm joking.
I mean, I'd believe you. That's the thing. Is like that tracks.
No,
Like, I
no.
feel like everyone tells him how cool he is.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I didn't even notice it because that like is so much how my life is that like it didn't seem, you know, it's like I wouldn't notice it. Yeah. That seemed normal to me. So
yeah. My bad. um, but like, I was thinking, I will say, like, I was watching this movie, and at the end, I think if this movie came out in like the 80s, like, imagine if like just like full same exact movie, someone somehow managed to make a movie this amazing in the 80s, like same exact everything, people would be like standing up applauding when he crosses the finish line. Like, I felt the urge to do that a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
When he finished, I was like, are we cheering? As anyone, like, some people clapped, you know, and I'm like, are we like, you know, I wanted to be like, let's go. You know, so like, I felt it a little. I'm not going to say like I didn't feel it at the end at all or anything.
Yeah.
But like, like, I wasn't like, I don't know, yeah, just like that little extra touch missing, you know.
The moment for the movie for me was that like most got me be like, you know, touch that boyhood in me, if we will, was when the pit girl who keeps messing up, like, and they get to 2.9 pit stop. That I was like, let's go. Like, that was like that was sick to me. That one got me hyped up.
No, I feel that. Yeah, I was wondering, like, that was an interesting character. Like, I just did you feel like after the movie ended, I wasn't like, this is out of place, but during it I was like, is this leading to something?
It
Like,
led to that moment pretty much, right?
yeah,
And that was
yeah,
it.
exactly, and it worked.
Yeah.
I mean, I heard that. Oh, you go.
No, I was just gonna say, like, from what I've come across while learning screenwriting, it's just like you're just in a point where you're working through, you know, the second sequence of Act 2, and like you're like, we need like a big emotional thing here, and so you create that pit stop thing, and then you're like, well, how do we make this work? Well, let's write in a scene in Act 1 where she's kind of getting talked down to by the driver. It's like, it seems like for me, that because I agree with you that it felt like, what is this? It felt reverse engineered from like, they got to a point in the script, they're like, we need an emotionally impactful moment here, and like worked backwards from they're like, okay, well, we'll make a pit crew member kind of go through this change, and this will be the climactic point of that character's story.
No, totally, yeah. You can like feel how easily you can like plug that in or take that out of the script.
Mm-hmm.
But I also heard there was this actress who's pretty known. I mean, I don't know. Did you watch Bridgerton? I didn't watch it.
No, I did not.
Well, apparently she's in that, but she had a role in the movie, like a proper supporting role, and was cut out of the movie like entirely.
Of the
and it just makes
F1?
me one. Yeah.
Are we talking about the pit crew girl?
No, we don't. I don't know what she plays, and that's what I was like.
Oh, she's just not in it.
There's a girl who's like our age, who shot the movie like whole, basically a supporting character and was cut out.
Wow.
And I'm like, I was trying to think of what it could be. Like, I was like, is she like on a member, like assistant to the board, or is she like Damson Idris's girlfriend? Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe it was like a love triangle, Brad Pitt situation.
I think another thing about F1 is I felt like there was like one too many races.
Yeah,
Like,
I could have done with the younger driver being white too.
Being wiped?
Yeah, you said there were too many races, and I agree with you.
Oh my god.
No, yeah. 9 races.
Totally.
9 races is a lot.
Is that how many there were?
That's how many they start. They're like, there's 9 races left in the season. We've got to get a first place. We kind of hurry through 3 of them while the dude's injured, but I mean, yeah, we see a good amount of racing, which like
I think when Brad Pitt like wrecks that race, I was like, this could have been the final race.
Interesting.
Like, I don't know. I just felt like, oh my gosh, we still haven't done. Like, I thought this was going to be it.
Yeah.
And maybe I lost a little momentum there because I'm also like, okay, obviously he's going to race in the final race. Like, do we really need to do this whole, like, you can't race, Brad,
Yeah.
But I get it from, like, a structural standpoint.
Yeah. Could you tell me about the actor that played the younger driver? I hadn't seen him in anything. Do you know who he is?
I know he was on this show called Snowfall, which is like a drug dealing show for like 6 years, and he got like really good. Everyone said he was like absolutely amazing in it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like he plays an American in the show, and there's rumors that he's going to be the new Black Panther.
Ooh, that would be cool.
Yeah, I think he would definitely work in that role.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he did the best you can do with a character like this. Like, I always kind of like, even though it's so true to life, I still get like, I kind of roll my eyes a little when I see like the younger person who's like obsessed with social media character. Like, it just feels like this again. Like, we're doing this whole thing again. I mean, I bet it's true. Like, I bet it's true in the F1 world. You have to like do that. Because it saw one of the F1 drivers. I don't know if you know F1 drivers, but Lewis Hamilton like produced it also. Mm-hmm. He was in the movie too for a second.
Yeah, I didn't know. I don't know anything about F1, but Ben was whispering me little things about like that. He's like, "That's this person. That's actually this person." I was like, "Cool."
Yeah, like they used like real names and stuff, who are two really, and like showed a couple of like the really famous ones because I think they had to shoot this at like real events,
Yeah.
Which is insane. Like, I don't even know how you do that.
Yeah. I bet they were like, Lewis Hamilton's like, yeah, you can't just like make me outright lose. Like, have my character get in a crash, and that's the reason your character wins. Because I would not even fictionally lose a race.
Yeah, I mean, I think I guess did he get in a crash, or I think it was the moment where Damson Idris and him were like, he's got to choose one. He's got to choose one to cut off. Do you remember that?
Yeah. I was just saying.
They were both coming up behind him.
Yeah. And Brad Pitt lets the other guy go, right?
No, I think the other guy does. Yeah, no, he does. I don't even remember.
Yeah,
See,
yeah, he lets him go.
The last race,
he lets him go.
Race.
Brad Pitt's in third. Lewis Hamilton's in second. What's the character's name, the younger guy? So I can actually say it.
Joshua Pierce.
Joshua Pierce, great name. Joshua Pierce is in first. And then it's like, it's clear Joshua Pierce isn't going to be able to hold off Lewis Hamilton because Lewis Hamilton's the better driver. But like, he says is Sonny, what does he say? I don't know, because they talked about the tires so many times. Like, he was like, Sonny.
Is this the rainy race?
No. I'm talking about the final race. So maybe we're on different races. Because were you talking about the rainy race?
I don't know. I don't remember which race that was in.
Oh, no, yeah. It was the final race. And he's like, is Sonny still going, basically? And they're like, yeah, he's still going.
Oh, yeah.
And then he basically, like, crashes Lewis Hamilton on purpose is how I read it, which just lets Brad Pitt take the dub.
Okay, I remember that now. They're so good at naming these characters, like Sonny Hayes. Like, they were in the room and they're like, that's just so, like, that's so perfect.
It's hardcore. Yeah, I guess harkening back to our, like, the buzzer beater of it all, it's like, I don't know about F1. I don't imagine most of American audience does, but like they did achieve that with like, it was like Brad Pitt didn't do it on purpose, but like he like crashed enough to where he didn't leave the track, and so like they had to do the red flag where everybody went into the pit stop for 10 minutes. Like, I bet that like never happens in F1 and has maybe like happened once ever. And so it's like, but they used that in a movie. So I bet that's pretty cool if you knew about F1 going in, Yeah,
I really wonder how
it's like
how fans of F1 are gonna like react to this movie.
I bet they respected the sport enough that they like it. I'm sure it feels like they did at least. But yeah, it's like that red flag moment feels like the equivalent of like the tie and the dodgeball at the end of dodgeball, and they have to blindfold each other and throw. Like it feels like that. It's like out of the same bag.
Dodgeball might be like one of the best sports movies of all time.
Yeah, I see. A comedy sports movie opens the door for you to do crazy stuff.
Be a comedy sports,
with that final win, like because it's like you can forgive anything. It's like,
oh my god, so much.
Well,
I just saw like right before we went live, there's a Ben Stiller pickleball movie coming out, and he just finished filming.
And is it comedic?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's gonna be.
I think it's got to be. It's gonna have Andy Roddick in it, which will be good.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. I mean, Zoolander 2 didn't crush.
No.
But I think Ben Stiller still got it, obviously. Severance. You watch Severance?
Yeah, I'm like 4 episodes into season 2. I just haven't gone back to it.
Copy that.
Yeah.
You need to. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not because it's worth it. It's not because I didn't even like it. I watched the episode that's where they all go out into the woods and have the camp out. And like that was an incredible episode, and I just haven't gone back to it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like that was like maybe the best episode of the season, other than the finale.
Yeah, it was a great episode. I have no.
Yeah.
But it's like it's definitely a big thing to bite off. For whatever reason, that's what I feel like when I think about sitting down to watch an episode. It's just like, I'm like,
it's a slow burn, no doubt.
It makes me think so much, because there's like 15 different layers going on at all times, and I'm just like, it can be exhausting for me.
No, I get it. I mean, it definitely makes you wonder if they know what they're setting up, or if they're just like. I mean, I'm kind of convinced it's just like a vibe show as well in many ways. Like, like, do they even know what they're setting up yet?
Or are they just tying a knot that they'll never be able to untie?
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, this is so cool. Like, because you just look at it and you're like, this is just interesting. Like these paintings and everything on the walls.
Yeah. Yeah, I think about that. The show just started making me think so much. Because I'm like, clearly Keir is like supposed to be God. And like, like I just started thinking so much about shit while watching the show, which is what they want to do. But like, it's just like, I got to take my time with it. It's like, it's like if you make your show too good, it's like I need time to process it. I can't just like eat it like it's a bag of McDonald's.
No, it's not tires.
No, it's not. Tires does not make me think too much.
Shane Gillis is just packing so much information into every frame.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah. There's a very complex argument, like for and against God, going on in Tires. Is there anything else on F1 for you that you want to talk about?
No, I think the thing that just stuck out is like, I really like whatever Jerry Bruckheimer seeks to achieve with his movies. Like he somehow strikes the balance between like heart and like structure really well. Like it just feels right. Like even like the Pirates movies, like they're just like classic, you know?
Yeah.
Even though they were made this century, they feel like a tale as old as time, you know?
That's we talk about like, Spielberg he got sharks, like things like 5-year-old boys love. Spielberg did sharks, he did dinosaurs, he did the Holocaust. Just kidding. But the one that he missed, that I feel like he tried to hit, he tried to do Hook, and it did not scratch the itch that like the country needed. And then I guess I'd attribute it to Bruckheimer more than like Gore Verbinski or something, but then the pirate itch got scratched for the boys everywhere with that.
Yeah. Robin Hood might not have been the way into Pirates. A grown-up Robin Hood.
Peter Pan, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I was like, who? Yeah, Peter Pan, my bad. I got the green getup mixed up.
No, it's very similar.
There is something about Robin Hood, too, that people are drawn to, because they've tried to make it a million times, and I fuck hard with Robin Hood, but, like...
No one's ever done
that. For whatever reason.
The Disney one's the best one. So I recently watched...
There's so many Robin Hoods.
I watched the Kevin Costner one, and it's fine. I watched it, like, last week. It's fine.
Okay.
And then there's a Taron Egerton one. I mean, there's a bunch of them, but none of them are good. Like, it's still yet to be done. So... be on the lookout.
Yeah, I wonder what the way in. Maybe it's like, I don't know what the way into Robin Hood is. I don't even remember how Robin Hood ends.
The Disney
maybe
one
like
just
a
might be
Princess Bride.
Yeah.
Princess Bride kind of approach, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I don't know if I have anything else on F1.
Yeah.
Unless you do.
I'm trying to think. I just liked Javier Bardem.
Yeah, he's great.
He's great. Yeah, I guess my thing is like I'm just more focused on like the idea of movies being wish fulfillment and trying to distinguish it from my own reality, because like I want the wish fulfillment in my own reality. So I'm like, is them putting in like being like, they have the whole talk about like the miracle. They're like, have you seen a miracle? And they're like, not yet. And then at the end of the movie, Javier Bardem's like, you're like, it's a miracle, and like so you finally get it. And I just like, in my life, I'm like, I just want like one miracle too. I'm like, am I supposed to believe that Kruger and Kaczynski have been like, yeah, like you eventually get your one miracle, or are they just trying to make me believe something that's not real? And I don't know.
I mean, I think something I've thought about is like, and this is something I thought about, I remember in film school, like watching some films where nothing happened and making my own films where nothing happened, is like, your own life isn't like inherently cinematic. Mm-hmm. There's like obviously stuff that is, but it's also like, we're telling the story of Sonny Hayes because he won. Like, there's a million drivers who tried to come back and failed. And we're telling the story of the 1 in a million guy who did manage to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That doesn't exist in the real world.
It does, though. It does in some ways. You know what I mean? It's like if we were telling, like, a basketball story, I'm just spitting. Yeah. Like, we're telling a basketball story, and you're looking at like Cavaliers down 3-1, come back to beat the Golden State Warriors. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you don't tell the story of the finals before that where they lost. You know what I mean? Where LeBron goes back to Cleveland and doesn't bring the championship back.
Right.
You know, it's like there's always like one or two in every sport. You know what I mean? Like soccer, like Messi is a guy that was like a legend, and the only thing he was missing was the World Cup. And in his maybe the last chance to ever win it, he won it.
Fair.
In penalty shootouts, nonetheless.
Fair.
You look at tennis. There's only one guy that's ever done everything you could in tennis. Is Novak Djokovic, and when he was 38 and probably his last Olympics, I think he's going to maybe try to make one more, but he's basically at the end of his career. What could have been his last Olympics, he won the gold medal, which he had never won. Mm. You know?
Can I ask you, have you felt like in your life, have you experienced a true miracle?
Can I have a long answer to this?
Sure. Yeah.
Well, this just makes me think of I watch a lot of there's like this Oscar movie edit that like I felt like was so huge for like inspiring me in college when I was like really like questioning everything.
Yeah.
And there's like a moment in it where I don't know what movie it's from. I've always wanted to see the movie, but this girl is like looking into the eyes of someone. She's like, I need to believe that something extraordinary is possible. Mm-hmm. You know, and I feel that on a deep level. And I do think this is something I've thought about. I don't know if you call it a miracle, but like when I first got my first agent and I booked the first thing I auditioned for. And I was literally like, is this a scam? Like, cause like that doesn't, I feel like usually happen.
Yeah.
And I think that happening was such a, like if I had gone 5 years and then booked my first thing, it would have been a lot harder. But booking that first thing kind of gave me this confidence that could hold me out for another like 10. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like it was almost this like, and whether this is true or not, I look at it as a sort of, I feel like things in my life have, almost forced me to keep going down this path I want to go down. Like almost encouraged me in a way. Like, I don't think there's any reason, like fundamentally, there's no reason why I got into NYU, like more than anyone else, but I did, and that became almost a sign in a way.
Right.
So maybe not a miracle per se, but I would say like a sign. And this goes back to like, I'm willfully delusional that I will actually like make it one day. I genuinely believe that. And if that happens, when that happens, I will consider that a miracle. So maybe it just hasn't happened yet, but I think there are things that have somehow, I don't know, just made sense in a way that I don't know if you call them a miracle or not, but
yeah, miracles are tough because it's like,
well, you might be looking at it in a religious like sense.
No, less so in a conversation like this, but it's like, because like for me, it's like what you described is very similar to like when I opened my phone and saw I got into Syracuse's film school. I was like, like hold up, like wait, like what's going on here? Am I getting like? Let me make sure I read that right. Like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But it's like I feel like people, and yeah, I guess because we're talking about miracles, it'll get slightly religious. But people like people expect a miracle to not make sense. Like I think that's kind of what like I don't like. I guess I'm just coming to this now, but it's like, you know what I mean? It's you're like shoot like You know, I wish I had a hamburger here right now. All of a sudden, a hamburger appears. You'd be like, all right, that's a freaking miracle. Like, there's no reason a hamburger should just appear right next to me. But I feel like I'm like, in real life, it doesn't mean it's not a miracle, right? It's like if you book, you know, the lead in the Stranger Things spinoff show, like, next month. Right? No. But it's like, if you do that, it's not the same as like a hamburger appearing out of thin air. It's like you'd get it and then you'd realize, oh wow, I got casted for this character because there's so many things that are similar to this character about me and whatnot. Like, it's like real miracles, I think, like, make sense after they happen, but that doesn't make them less of miracles. Am I making sense there?
No, you are, and yeah, it's like just how you look at a miracle. Like it kind of goes and almost is the same as saying someone's an overnight success.
Yeah,
you know, like no one is. Like
yeah,
like like Brad Pitt, Sonny Hayes won that race, not because he's like this is the only guy on earth who can. Like, everyone just forgot how to drive, and this is the only guy who remembers how to just drive a normal car, and we need to put, like, it's not like they're, like, right before the race, their driver drops out. They need to throw someone in there who's never driven an F1 car. That would be a miracle. Like, that's like Luke Skywalker hitting the fucking Death Stars. This is a guy who's never flown a plane. Let's have him go, like, shoot something literally impossible. That's a miracle, you know, but is Sonny Hayes a miracle? You know, it's as close to as, like, maybe we can fathom in real life happening, you know? Everything led to that moment for Sonny Hayes. Like, if he never got injured, he might have never won an F1 race in this fucked up way.
Yeah, on top of that, I also went on Monday and I saw, and I'm wondering if you've seen it, the live action How to Train Your Dragon.
No, Tamara saw it, but I haven't. I mean, I'm like, this is a question I can ask you too. Like, should I watch the animated first? Because I haven't seen the animated.
You're Jonah. You haven't seen the animated?
No, everyone says it's great.
Jonah.
Everyone says it's great.
Jonah. I won't get it too into it because you haven't seen it, obviously. But I was sitting here watching, in theaters watching it, and I went to see it because I'm like, the first one's like one of my all-time favorite movies. And so I went and saw it. And I was like, just watching the live action, like, reaffirmed, I'm like almost beyond words, this is one of the best, like, movies ever made. Like, animated or real, whatever. It's just like whatever the blend of how a story actually gets told. I mean, my mind was being absolutely blown every second. And I'd already seen the animated movie a couple times. It's
Isn't
just
this maybe like a live action, like, shot for shot, same director situation?
Pretty much. I don't think it's full on shot for shot, but it's dang close.
When you direct the same movie twice, you probably will just do the same shots over and over again.
Yeah, I am wondering what you should do first. I mean, I think we just take it as a sign from the universe. Just go sit your butt in the theater and see this live action first. I think just take, like, if you were supposed to see the animated before this, then Jonah, it's such a good story. It's gonna, like, without a doubt, this will be one of your favorite movies of all time. Like, without it, like, and I'm talking, like, within the first 5 minutes, it's doing things that's gonna stir your soul in such a way that you're gonna think back to me saying this right now, and you'll be like, "Dang, he was right." At 5 minutes into the movie, you were
selling this well.
I
mean, I've heard the score, and is it the same score as the animated?
Yeah, 8.1 on IMDb, both of them.
I know, like,
music. I think so. Incredible soundtrack. Yeah, incredible score.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
No,
I was just shocked that they're both 8.1, so I was like, I'm glad he noticed.
That's hilarious. Oh, that's funny. Well, I think I'm asking, too, because I know, I mean, I don't know if Mason Thames does, like, the Jay Baruchel voice, you know, in this movie. But I feel like that, like, are the characters still similar? Because I feel like Jay Baruchel brings, like, an awkwardness that I feel like I don't know if Mason Thames brings. You know?
He definitely doesn't bring it to the same level. But he's excellent. He's excellent.
No, he's a star. I'm telling you.
Yeah. It's you never buy in that you're like, I don't buy this guy's like a loser, but like he's still acting as if he is, and so you're like, okay, you know, I'm rolling.
Okay.
No,
okay.
If there's any movie,
you would say they're both on par with each other.
Yeah, pretty much interchangeable. It's just whatever your taste is. And I'm just saying, just because it's in theaters right now, you should do the live action one first.
Okay.
But I mean,
that could be our next pod.
Yeah, it'll have to be. But so I won't get too into it. But there's no movie. There's like, you know, you're catching me in the heat of the moment, but it might be the movie that like touches my soul in the deepest way possible.
More than anything else? Where is it on your like top 100?
I don't know. I think it's in there, like, you know, 50 or something.
I don't know if you still inserted stuff into that or not.
There's just like things I like in the same way, like I enjoy, like, I don't even know. It's like from the entire spectrum of things you can enjoy about film, this movie like is checking the entire spectrum of boxes. Like,
I like to hear that. I love that. I love a movie that does everything that you could ever want.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like a recent movie.
That's you gotta go. I mean, it's incredible, Jonah. It's unbelievably good. I just feels good to keep saying that. So like, forgive me if I do.
Okay. Yeah. But, no.
Yeah. Let's make that our next pod for sure.
Okay. I will see it this weekend. I'll try to see it this weekend.
Beautiful.
Maybe that'll be my 4th of July. Maybe I'll go on the 4th.
There you go. That sounds perfect.
Damn,
what else?
Okay.
What have you watched this past week, not in theaters?
What have I? Let me check the Letterboxd.
Have you seen? I watched it yesterday. Have you seen The Fountain of Youth?
The Fountain of Youth. Gosh, is that with Hugh Jackman?
No, that's the Krasinski.
No, I haven't. Gosh, this is just what I love Guy Ritchie, I love John Krasinski, I love everyone involved in the movie from the outside.
Yeah.
But it just feels like I love all these pieces, but they're just all a part of different puzzles. Is when I look at the movie, is what I see.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. It definitely does not all come together.
They definitely didn't do chemistry reads for this movie, I can tell.
No. And like Krasinski's not as bad as you'd think. Like, in the sense that, like, of course I love Krasinski, but you're like, is he really this like bad boy adventurer? And I'm watching and I'm like, he's definitely not, but I'm still, that's not fully taking me out of the experience. It's like, I like that he's at least trying.
Well, I think something I'm realizing in general about movies is like, it all comes back to the script. Like, because I could see John Krasinski in a role like this, but I think I ask myself, is this that role? You know, like, I see all these people, I feel like he could play that type of character, but maybe in a more serious vein. I don't know. It looks like very, like, I don't know. It looks like the type of movie where they're like, he's right behind me, isn't he?
And then they are.
Yeah, like that, like jokey kind of tongue-in-cheek. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Again, it's like the script is excellent, and that's where I came.
The script is excellent.
The script is excellent, but for me, I'm like, Guy Ritchie was the wrong person to direct, and like the thread was just lost in the production of the film, where it's like, I don't even know what this necessarily is. But yeah, it's like, yeah, you want, like, you know, Guy Ritchie's style. Like, there's
I'm a guy. I like
nearly
it. I like
0% in Guy Ritchie. Like, there's 0% of Guy Ritchie style in the movie.
Oh, I mean, it looks like visually, I like the look of it. I feel like he'd be good for this, but maybe not. Maybe he pumps them out too quick, and maybe this was just like a paycheck for him. Yeah. Like, not something he was passionate about.
Yeah, I
he
don't
makes
know.
a movie like a movie a year. Interesting. I will watch it one day because that's definitely a movie that I could throw on when I'm like, I don't need to watch something that I like have been looking forward to for years. Because that's honestly what stops me a lot. It's like, oh, do I have time to watch this movie that I've been putting off for like 10 years? But Fountain of Youth isn't one I'm going to be like, oh, I've really got to settle into Fountain of Youth.
Yeah, one day. But it doesn't give you that warm feeling either. It's like, you know, you want it to be Indiana Jones, and everyone wanted it to be Indiana Jones, but it just... I think the script had the legs for it, and then I just think Guy Ritchie didn't give it... Like, if you're going to bring the pure essence of the script out, it's like you got to... Like, someone needed to sit a lot longer with this, and a different director probably to get it done. But,
do you think people... I wonder, because, like... There's like I feel like there's chatter that people aren't as into Indiana Jones anymore, like considering the new movie didn't really do Did you see the new one?
I did.
I liked it. I wasn't like,
I
this is
did.
awesome,
I liked it
this is
too.
good.
I liked
I
it
enjoyed
too.
this.
It's that spirit of adventure. Yeah, that was there with the first ones though, not fully captured.
And maybe people just don't. I think there's like a part of people that just isn't like interesting to anymore.
Am I tripping, or did James Vanderbilt direct that Indiana Jones?
James
Mangold.
Bob Dylan. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is an interesting choice. I mean, I think he did a great job. I think like, and this goes back to like conversation I've had too many times and brought up too many times, but like by having like information so readily available to people, like they can see what any part of the world looks like. Like there isn't like this mystery around places that aren't their home anymore.
Yeah.
And I think that might be it. I don't know, but like I love a globetrotting film, you know.
Yeah.
But I just wonder if audiences care about that anymore. Like Mission Impossible didn't do well. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just not as like, it doesn't hit with people as much as it used to.
Dude, I'm just saying we need new young directors in there that just see things differently. I feel like that would bring the excitement back. Like it's just like you're just showing me, you know, like Prague in a wide shot. Like it's like I don't know how else you're supposed to do it, but like, you know, I feel like there's a way. But
well, I don't know if you ever watched I love that like YouTube channel Every Frame a Painting. Did you ever watch those?
A little bit.
And he talked about how like Edgar Wright would like, you know, when he was transitioning, it wouldn't just be like overhead of places or whatever. Like it would be like it would show something about the characters. And maybe that's a more interesting way. Yeah, there is just more interesting ways to shoot it. Like you could go through the city center and have extras, like hella extras crossing with doing all sorts of stuff. And yeah, but it's almost like we rented this part of the city out and we just need a big wide shot of it, and then we'll walk into the set. Do you see the Running Man trailer?
I haven't watched it yet.
I guess you don't need to, just if you're gonna see it, you know. But I mean, I'll see anything Edgar Wright does, and it looks like kind of a return to form in a way.
Okay.
Oh, this is something I wanted to say about F1, and I've mentioned this before, but like the Baby Driver ending, like he felt like he couldn't do a car thing at the end of that.
Like because like the John Hamm standoff is what we're talking about. Like as the
like it ends up being a foot race.
Yeah.
Instead of a car chase, which I think wasn't a good idea, but yeah, he ran into the same issue, I guess.
Best racing movie ever. I'm wondering if you've seen it. Do you know what I'm about to say?
You're gonna say Days of Thunder?
No, I haven't seen that. No. If you haven't seen this, you gotta watch it immediately. It's unbelievable. It is Ron Howard's Rush.
Yes, I love that movie.
That's my favorite racing movie of all time.
And I'll have to see it again, but like I think probably what makes it so great is when I think about that movie, I don't think about the racing.
Yeah, you think about the characters for sure.
Yeah. Like, you almost don't need the racing. I mean, obviously, like, that's why you go into the movie, but, like,
The
that
racing
movie's
could
so
have been
fucking good
anything
because of the characters.
Like,
yeah.
you could take that exact story, and I know it's a real story now, but you could take the story and the characters and make it basketball, make it football or whatnot, and, like, it's all gonna work the same just as well.
Yes. Yes. That's probably Chris Hemsworth's best performance.
It is.
If I'm thinking about it.
I would take that as an argument for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, it's such a sleeper of a movie. It's so good. It's F1.
It's almost is it F1?
Yeah, it's F1 racing.
Oh, okay.
But like in
so
the
we
70s.
do have an F1 movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's. But yeah, so what'd you see when you looked at your letterbox? What you seen recently?
I saw. What did I watched something that like I feel like isn't on here. I watched F1. I watched Paris, Texas. I watched Materialists. I watched Mission Impossible. Phoenician Scheme. Did you see Phoenician Scheme?
I don't really have interest.
Really? Are you a
Yeah.
Wes Anderson guy?
No, I like Fantastic Mr.
His early
Fox.
stuff?
I haven't even seen I'm sure Royal Tenenbaums would be my favorite if I saw it, but I haven't seen it.
Dude. You haven't seen Royal Tenenbaums? Have you seen Rushmore?
Yeah, I've seen Rushmore.
Okay. Do you like Rushmore? I love Rushmore. Like, that might be one of my favorite movies.
I like it, but it's, I guess for me, and you know this about me, it's like too much style gets in the way for me sometimes. And like, I love the Wes Anderson style, but like, it keeps me from like what we were talking about, like feeling the movie as much as I desire to.
Yes, and I think that's something that's definitely, I went in like, little arms folded, like, okay, Wes Anderson, classic,
Because
know what I'm getting into.
French Connection was a lot. That was a lot to swallow. And then Asteroid City, I love the vibe of like Arizona, sunny aliens. Like, that was cool, but I was neither here nor there. So I'm like, Phoenician Scheme's just going to be another just like borderline self-indulgent Wes Anderson movie. But what are you saying?
I mean, I have that, like, I'm a big, like, Rushmore and Royal Tenenbaums are like really big movies for me, but I think afterward it's when it starts to go a little, I don't know if you call it downhill. I mean, I think Grand Budapest Hotel is probably his best because it kind of rides the line the most between the two, like being stylized but also having heart.
Right.
Like the way Ray Fiennes delivers the lines is like, it doesn't feel like he's not talking like himself. You know what I mean? Like, now people are kind of like doing the Wes Anderson talking vibe. No, this one's it's like exactly what you expect. It's exactly what it looks like it's gonna be, and I was fine with it. I had a fun time with it. Like, I wasn't expecting. I mean, I haven't disliked any of his movies, but yeah, I didn't like. I think you might find it interesting because he does kind of explore religion more than he ever has.
Yeah, that was the one thing. Like, I know they got the nun character, and I was like, I could be interested to learn about his relationship with religion, but overall, I felt like it gave me French Connection vibes, where I'm like, I feel like this just might bore the shit out of me, but I don't know.
No, it very well might. I mean, it very well might. I don't think it was boring, but it goes by at a nice pace, and it ends. The story is just so, like, not there. It's just like such an excuse to go to different parts of this country, Phoenicia or whatever.
Right.
It's like some like business type of story, and it just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter.
That's the thing, dude. We've got all these filmmakers that are like absolutely have made some of my favorite movies of all time, but like they came up in the 90s where like it was like all you had to do was write something that was like 90 pages long and go make it, and you could be a filmmaker. And so it's like there are these writers directors that like never really learned the craft of screenwriting, and it's not horrible or anything. Like I said, it's given great movies, but like I'm not surprised to see that like Wes Anderson, if he's writing his own stuff, it's usually with someone, and there's always like some layer missing to it as well. I don't know.
Well, I don't think like I think they know the structure and everything. I think there's just like I think there's some truth to like what Tarantino's saying about like at a certain age you're kind of just like falling off. And that's not to say like Wes Anderson, I don't think he's made a bad movie yet, like a bad movie. I think they're all good, at least. But something I've noticed in terms of like my journey to try to write something that I care about is like a lot of the ideas I'm playing around with have a lot of crossover. Like there's certain I don't want to call it tropes, but certain plot points that, if I were to write all 4 of these movies that I'm like looking at, there would be like an enormous amount of crossover in certain ways because I haven't written them yet. So if I write this one first, I'll probably put this plot point I've been thinking about using into this one.
Mm-hmm.
That is like relatable to my life.
Yes.
And I think because Wes Anderson works so much, he's gotten to the point where it's like he's finding different ways to tell the same story at this point. Mm-hmm. And I actually think he's doing a pretty darn good job of making them different, but they're all kind of about fatherhood, basically, in some ways.
Yeah.
Like Rushmore is kind of like,
Fantastic
Bill
Mr.
Murray
Fox, Budapest, Ray Fiennes' character is a father figure. You're right. There's definitely something there. Jason Schwartzman in Asteroid City. Yeah.
Royal Tenenbaums is like the movie about fatherhood of them all.
And isn't Darling Unlimited 3 kids going to their dad's funeral?
3 after their dad's funeral. They go on this like spiritual journey, kind of.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, and that's what it comes down to, dude. Like, it's like I feel like you've got to just embrace it. But like, you're right. Like, it's like we've all just like because of our life experiences, we've got like some form of a story that speaks the most to us emotionally, and like the onus is on us to do so, to do it, to tell that story, even though like some people like me and you right here will be like, I got tired of it. It's the only thing you got, and you just gotta hope that like it's a juicy enough thing that like you can make a few things out of it,
Yeah, and my issue isn't even like the stories. It's just like there's something about Rushmore especially that I think is like, and Darjeeling Limited, where it's like there's a reality here. Like we're still living in reality to an extent. Mm-hmm. Which worked more for me, which made me like feel things on a deeper level. And now it's like I still feel things in this weird kind of melancholic way when I walk out of his movies, but it doesn't have the same. It doesn't have the same that it used to, but it's. I mean, I still fuck with it probably way more than you do, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's something like I feel like Tarantino, the one who said that of all people, like doesn't need to follow that rule because he's so good at like stealing.
Yeah, there's nothing original in any of his no. But like to a degree.
But so original at the same time.
Yeah, to a degree. It's like if you do steal everything from everything, that becomes original. But like, it's like there's. We don't know anything about Tarantino as a person other than he likes movies from his movies.
and I think that's a good thing, and I think that's why I think he doesn't have to adhere to this like 10 movie rule that he gives himself, which I hope he doesn't adhere to, but it seems like he is because he hasn't made a movie since Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, whenever that was. I think 2019. Was that 2019? Or is that early? I think it might have been 2018. I don't know.
2019.
Yeah, but that almost felt like. I wonder if that was like. It feels in a lot of ways like this was like the movie he wanted to cap everything off with after watching. I watched that again recently. That's what I watched. That's what I forgot to mention. Yeah, it just feels like kind of this whole coming together of everything he's made in that movie. Like, there's just so much.
And I can tell he tried to maybe make it his farewell. I still wish there was more Manson family stuff in it, but I would love like a full-on like farewell to cinema movie for him. Like, I feel like
the next movie's, yeah.
I feel like he could get, like, it's like it's like Damien Chazelle might not ever make a movie again because the way, like, Babylon, like, felt like the perfect last film for a filmmaker to make, especially with the way Babylon ended too. It's like, I need Tarantino to go make his Babylon, but like make that actually his final farewell to. Like, I don't know why Damien Chazelle was saying bye to cinema at age 32, but he did.
Because, dude, the thing is, like, I feel like you win an Oscar and then you go make the movies you actually like have always wanted to make. Like, I've achieved my goal. Like, all right, let me just fuck around now.
Has Tarantino, has he made his movie about filmmaking? Like, that's what I think his last one needs to be.
I mean, since we've talked about this a lot, I was thinking, oh my gosh, there's something I saw recently that I felt like was that movie too. But I do think you could say that about, I was thinking about that during Phoenician Scheme, actually. I'm like, is this Wes Anderson's movie about, like, filmmaking?
Uh-huh.
I don't think it is, but I think he's coming up on it very close. Like, especially with maybe like French Dispatch, because it was like about a newspaper, you know, and these stories. You know, he's always kind of been making movies
that
about
movie
movies.
Literally, it's like one of those movies that's like, yeah, I get it. You're really good at filmmaking, but you're making me want to take my own life during this experience.
I don't think I hated it like that. I mean, I think I just don't. I think there's just something about vignette movies that will never hit the same way as a real movie. Like, it's just impossible.
Yeah. I've had that qualm too. I've had that qualm as well. I feel like I've expressed it mainly about Tarantino because most of his movies. Django Unchained's my favorite, and it's not a vignette situation.
Well, I did watch because I was thinking about, what was I thinking about? I can't remember how I got on it, but I was like,
don't give your movie chapters. It's not a book. It's a movie. I just had to get that out.
Put that on the poster. I like that quote.
It's like, I'm trying to get lost in a film here. I don't need you naming each sequence of your movie. Leave me alone. Let me watch the thing.
Yeah, and that's maybe, I wonder about that with Wes Anderson, but I mean we know it. I've heard it with Tarantino, and I didn't quite realize it. But watching Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I definitely realized it. Is like, he's like, I always want you to be aware you're watching a movie, and I get that with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Like, I was never like, you know, it's just like, make a Rick Dalton movie and make like, he didn't have to make it one movie. I think, like, it just felt rushed in this fucked up way.
Yeah.
And I think making it over the course of only one day is what kind of also made it feel weird. Because it's like over the course of one day, and then we flash 6 months ahead.
Yeah, that's a big problem.
And then the end of it happens.
That's a big problem. Yeah.
And it's like, I feel like there was it felt like, saying this is like, sounds like an insult, but it's not, is like, it felt like there were more drafts to be done. Like, it felt like we could have streamlined this a little bit more.
No, you're right. Like, with the amount of content that he had. And I'm sure in his head, he's like, I always have this amount of content in my movies.
Or make it a Kill Bill, like, part 1 and 2 situation.
Yeah, I just feel like, I almost
that
wish he worked
perfect
on the script for, like, 10 more years. Like, with how rich everything was. Like, imagine he just sat on it for, like, 10 years and, like, just really balance shit out. But it seems like he's like, it's like he bit off more than he could chew almost. It's like he like he wrote his little book and like had tons of stuff, and instead of trying to like figure it out, he's just like, we'll just have Margot Robbie watch movies for 10 minutes of my movie. And I'm like, all right. It's like, come on, dude. Like, So.
I think that might have been how I wonder if that's how he felt afterward, because because he wrote a sequel with Brad Pitt's character. He was probably like, there's just so much more to tell,
Yeah.
And I wonder if that'll involve the Manson. That would be cool, actually, if they brought that whole thing back. Maybe as like they're trying to get revenge on him or something. Maybe he even felt like there's just I only scratched the surface with these characters. Yeah.
I'm really into the Manson family stuff. There's a great book on it called Chaos that's just like sick. So I just know how much is there, and so I'm like, if you just. I don't know. I wish he just like made the Inglourious Bastards for the Manson family. Like that just would have been sick. But he was like, he was trying to do like 15 things in this movie. He was trying to make a Western. He was trying to make the Cliff Booth. He was trying to make the Leonardo DiCaprio. It's like, and he was trying to make the Manson. It's like, just like, if you're not going to just pick one, then you need to take your time and balance this stuff out,
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's just like somehow it's 2.5 hours, and I just felt like it rushed everything.
I would say all this to his face too. I'd be very interested to hear his responses. I feel like it'd be a good conversation.
The thing is, I like to say I'd say this to his face, but would I?
Like I wouldn't.
I
like,
want to be in a Tarantino movie.
I wouldn't like walk up to him and just start saying it. But like if we were like sat down and it was like, hey, Quentin, I'm gonna say some stuff now. I would feel comfortable. I would feel comfortable saying it.
I think he might appreciate it.
If I'm wrong, explain to me why I'm wrong. But I'm also not gonna.
I would love to hear that.
I wouldn't just pretend I'm wrong because you come at me hot. I'd be like, all right, like I'm still not sold. I think you messed up.
Well, I think I've tried to watch it with the eyes of because there are some people who love this movie. And I definitely can see how, and I think going in knowing it's one day helped me more, and I did appreciate it greatly. It's not about the movie being like, the movie's not bad by any stretch of the imagination. I just feel like like you said, it could be Inglourious Bastards, and there's like, people have said this before, but I like this. I don't know if you call it a theory or not, but like at the end of that movie when they carve the symbol into his head, like Brad Pitt looks down at the camera and he's like, now this might be my masterpiece. And then the credits roll. And it's like, is Tarantino telling us this is his masterpiece?
Django Unchained is masterpiece, but he might have thought.
Do you think more than Inglourious Bastards?
Yeah, in my opinion, for sure. It was like, he might have thought he was at the top step, but there was one, for me, I'm like, there was one more step, was Django. Mm-hmm. And then, but that's the thing, it's the same thing. It was like Fantastic Mr. Fox happened, and like, you could argue that was Wes's, but then you get Grand Budapest right after, and like, that is a step up in some ways. I still like Fantastic Fox more, but it's like, it's like, when a filmmaker reaches the midpoint of their career, is like, they're making the juiciest thing. At least these 90s guys, because the Eggers and the Ari Asters and the Chazelles seem to be, their first three are their best, and then they're gone. Except for Eggers, I wouldn't put Eggers in that. But
well, there's like this thing that happened, I think, with like Chazelle and what were the other two you said? Ari Aster, where it's like, well, I think Ari Aster might still be yet to make his peak.
Eddington,
I think he might.
Isn't getting. I saw the trailer. I'm like, this does not look as good as Hereditary or Midsommar, and Beau is Afraid.
No, I don't think it will be. I completely forgot about Midsommar. I was thinking about Beau is Afraid.
Yeah,
it's like, is Beau is Afraid his masterpiece? But I don't think these guys like Tarantino and Wes Anderson, I don't think they like. But if you look at Tarantino, you probably after Pulp Fiction, you'd be like, this guy already peaked. This guy already did his masterpiece,
Fair. And then I'd be like
And
Jackie
then
Brown, which is pretty good, is a step back down. And then, yeah, you kind of get lost in the muck. That's what I guess like the Astors and the Chazelles need to work through is like they got to work through the muck, and eventually they'll find an Inglourious Bastards and a Django Unchained as they work through their muck.
I think Chazelle still has another banger in him for sure. I think in this weird way, I don't know if it's a weird way, but in this way, like, Whiplash is a masterpiece for sure.
Locked.
What?
I said locked. It's a locked-in masterpiece.
Yeah, I think you could argue La La Land is a masterpiece. It's a classic, I think, already. Like, it's going to be a classic, in 30 years.
Yes.
I think Babylon's a masterpiece. I understand why others wouldn't think that, but I do think it's, like, close to it. Maybe not a masterpiece, but I think it's pretty close.
What if they came out with a director's cut and the only thing changed was they didn't put in the Avatar shot?
I've rewatched that scene, and I get why he put it in there.
Because James
but it's not
Cameron's
even
the goat.
just... No, it's not even just Avatar. I think... something about the montage, like... It hits so well. It's okay, this is what it is he's watching this montage, and it hits so well until it surpasses his time period.
The character's time period.
The character's time period. It's working for me, but once it goes beyond his time period, it starts to lose me a little bit. Like, and that's not just the Avatar shot. That is, I think I don't know what other shots there are in there, but it just feels like, okay, this is not, there's just something about it. Like, I don't know if you even do them. This is the thing is, like, if I was making the movie, I don't even know if I'd go back and change it. Because it's like, yes, this is what it has to be if we're doing a montage of cinema. But by doing that, it like takes it makes it not like La La Land did it right, where it's a montage about movies, but it's not like using footage from other movies. I think if the montage had been all old movies, like before 1970 or something, it would have worked.
But then it's
once
like,
it gets into
that's
the
what he
digital
ran
age,
into. That's what he ran into because he's like, well, you've got to build to something. You can't just like build and leave off at Taxi Driver. And so he's probably like, I got to take this all the way to the end.
Well, I think the problem with it is it won't age well.
It won't.
Like in 30 years, people are going to be like, okay, so it goes to like 2020.
Is Damien Chazelle working on a movie right now?
I was telling you about this. I don't think it's happening anymore, but there was like negotiations or talk. There was talks with Leonardo for a Evel Knievel movie.
Right.
And talks with Adrian Brody to be a supporting member of the cast.
I think based on Babylon, I think Chazelle needs to do a Terrence Malick. Like, I think he's got to take like 10 years off from filmmaking.
I mean, that movie, he basically is doing that. I mean, that movie's basically like, I don't know how, that's another movie I'm watching and I'm like, this is an incredible feat of movie making.
Yeah. He's going to come back and blow our freaking minds, but I'm like, I think he's got to be patient for like 10 years and just like not make a movie. Cuz it's like Babylon, it's like right there. It's like all of it is like almost there. It's like right there, but it's like to get that extra 1% that gets it there. Like that 1% comes from like 10 years of waiting, is in my opinion. I'm like, because like the whole opening sequence and the tracking shot of the party and stuff, like that stuff is so cool, but like it doesn't feel authentic to the fullest degree.
Babylon?
Yeah.
No, I definitely wonder about that. I mean, I know, like watching interviews, I know he did a lot of research, but it's almost like, are there, like, how do you, like, how authentic is this to, like, what a party was like back then? And does it need to be? I don't know. I think the score is just magic. I think I think there's like a nostalgic thing that he does that just hits me every time. Yeah, I don't know. I think right now he might be just taking time off because I was looking it up and he does have a couple kids that are young. So I think a lot of directors do take like time off when they have kids and then like come back 5 years later.
Well, yeah, Terrence Malick took off 18 years. Denis Villeneuve took off like 9 years, and it was because he had kids. So I think it's the right move for him. I hope I don't hear from him for like 5 more years. Because I mean, at this point, we're 5 years out from Babylon, aren't we? When did that movie come out?
Yeah, so I mean, he could start shooting the next one in 2 years, and we'll have it, and it'll be an 8 or 9 year gap.
Off. Oh, I can't wait to see like what the idea is too. Like he's gonna come up with something sick.
Well, I think this is making him really go back to the drawing board because he got everything out of his system in the first 3.
Yes.
He did everything he ever wanted to do.
He wrote Babylon, obviously couldn't get it made. Wrote La La Land, tried to get it made, couldn't get it made. Wrote Whiplash, got it made. It was sick. Made La La Land, it was sick. Made Babylon, less sick than the first 2, but still good. And now he's like, all right, now I've got to figure out what I want to do with my life.
Yeah, it's crazy actually to think about.
I want to rewatch Babylon. I think I'll do that sometime soon.
I do too. I just I haven't seen it since theaters, and it's just such a good theater movie for me that I'm like, I gotta have like the right circumstances.
Yeah, and I think it's so much less sacred for me that I'm ready to rip it. Like I could hang up this call and rip it because like my first experience was
you should.
Oh,
you should.
I want to.
I think it's Brad Pitt's best performance.
It like pisses
Bring it
me
full
off.
circle.
Okay. Can I this is what it feels like to me. It's like, were you ever a kid in like kindergarten and like you had like magnets, right? And like you weren't strong enough to press the when you lined up the positives and the negatives. It's like you were a kid, so you didn't have the strength to make them touch, and like you try to push them towards each other and they just like slip off. You know what I mean? Before they touch.
Yeah.
It felt like Babylon was like, it's like, I love this Tobey Maguire underground sex crocodile shit. Like, I love this, that, the other. But it felt like he was trying to push 2 magnets together that he couldn't quite make touch. I don't know. That's what the feeling in my soul is with that movie. But I want to rewatch it because I like it more this time through, for sure.
I think you would like it more. I think you definitely would like it more. I see what you're saying. I think there's other movies that metaphor might work better for.
Whoa. That's the name of my next album.
Metaphor, better for?
Better for metaphors.
Oh, that's good. That's really good.
It's too good. I never mind. I won't do it.
No, I see what you're saying. I think there's just something... I don't know. I think the movie is not uplifting. And I think maybe there's an expectation that it would have been by some people. I don't know if that's you. I don't know if that affected you at all watching it, if that's why you don't like it. But I think in many ways it's like, it's, I mean, I'm going to call it this because I feel like this is what I've been seeking to make eventually, is a coming of age movie.
Right.
Where it's about the loss of innocence by the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
All these people, either they give up on their dreams, they realize the dream is over for them, or it's not what they expected and they go off and do something else. Like they quit the thing that was so amazing at one point in time and it's changed and that old past is gone. So it's kind of like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I don't think it's a positive movie, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
It's interesting to think
it's
about.
It's kind of a tragedy.
Because, like, you say to me, and I agree, and I'm like wondering if I should go back to this or if I should. I think I've got to explore. Without getting into it, I've got to explore other things first. But, like, it's like make yourself the main character. Like, make the movie that your soul is desiring to be made right now. And it's like, if you look at Babylon in that sense, and you look at the main character, which is, don't remember his name, but like
Manny.
It's like, what is the story of Manny in this, right? It's Damien Chazelle himself, but it's like he just gets thrown into this world of filmmaking and is just pulled left and right and up and down and hit with this and hit with that. And it's just, it's basically like if you jumped off a diving board into like, a tornado is like what the story of Manny is in this movie. And I feel like that was like, in some way, Damien Chazelle, right? He wrote this before he got big, so it's like, it's more about like, again, like his love for filmmaking. It's like, once you just like, when you're immature, not immature, but just young, and like you start watching movies, right? It's like a tornado. It's like you haven't seen anything, everything's new to you, you love it all, and you're just getting tossed around in a wave pool of things that you love, and then like all of a sudden you come out on the other side and you're like, what the heck was that? And that's kind of like the end, like when he's got a family and he comes back and whatnot. And I feel like the movie ended the way he did. If we're talking about this, like him taking a gap after and whatnot, it's like, I feel like he was just like, love of filmmaking, love of movies or whatnot, dot 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 dot, and it was like subconsciously he like got to this point where he's like, I need to now like step away from it for a bit because I don't even know what the hell's going on, but it's been such a fun ride.
No, I think that's a great. I think he's an extremely like other. I mean, I think it's. I mean, it's obvious when you say it. When I say this, but like, I don't think he's as talked about this way. But I think he's like a very personal filmmaker. Like if you look at obviously Whiplash and the way you just described this movie, I imagine he definitely put that into like that last scene. Is like, I gotta, yeah, like win an Oscar at age 29, basically work nonstop, from La La Land to this, like making $100 million movie. But like if you look at, he made La La Land, like he probably started shooting that right after he got divorced. Like, which is insane to think about, Yeah. Like shooting that movie in the midst of heartache. And I think that's why it's probably so good. And that's probably why, and I think he probably put some of that into Babylon. But yeah, like you said, I imagine a lot of that filmmaking is there too, that filmmaking whirlwind. Because I think I think that's what I think I love the way he captures it so much.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think the first,
it's like, yeah, it's like Manny's not doing anything. He's almost just like trying to hang on for dear life, and like that's a fun mold for a story, I think.
Yeah, it's almost like when people say, like, this is like something I think maybe, I don't know if you thought about this, but I think it's something a lot of people thought about, including myself, when we're young and we're writing, is like, but people aren't like, it's like, make your protagonist active, And it's like, I don't even know what that's like. I'm not active. Yeah. Like, I feel like I'm just coasting through life.
Yeah, it's like when you're still a kid, you're not yet an adult, if you will. Yeah, it's like your life isn't like you're getting pulled along by your life. Yeah, that's good. That's good. It's it's like and like that's the coming of age story. It's like you're getting pulled. You're not an active character, and then like eventually,
you decide to become
active. But it's like, it's not on your time either. Like when just in real life, I'm thinking, it's like you don't just like decide one day, all right, today I'm taking hold of my life. It's like that day comes, like you're saying that to yourself because like shit's gone down at the same time,
Yes. And I think, I especially as a child was like, I'm not in control of my life at all, And then one day, you kind of have to be.
You just like, find yourself.
I have to go do this now. Like my mom's not going to do this for me. And I guess the Manny character is like that in a lot of ways. Like he kind of, how does he even get into the film industry? I don't even remember. He's at the party. He like works with this guy he meets, and then he gets invited to set. Right. Is that what happens? Or he's like a PA or something.
I remember there was
He's
just
like
he
delivering
just
some shit.
we meet the character and it's like he's just interested in this world and getting into this world, and he ends up at this party. Or is he working at the party? I don't know.
I want to say he's
the
working
opening
at the
scene
party.
is the elephant poop. That's the opening scene.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that scene, I think, like, genuinely, you cut the elephant poop, you cut the girl pissing on the guy, which are like the first 5 minutes we see. And I think more people like this movie. Like, I think it just, like, for a lot of people, those two things happen, and then you're starting from behind. You know, you get the ball in the 20, like normal. You get 2 penalties right there off the bat. You're back at the 2-yard line. You know, and that's where Damien Chazelle starts working from when the movie starts. The second time I was fine with it, but I think for most people it's like, oh my God, what are we doing?
Damien Chazelle does know screenwriting and whatnot, and so I'm not saying this in that respect, but like, yeah, it's like a normal movie, right? Is like, you know, it's Act 1 begins. Like, once we've watched 20 to 25 minutes of the movie is when we get the elephant dung and the girl peeing. Like, you know, we see him at his home, you know, making this shit up at his hometown and this, that, the other, and he's got to go off to Hollywood and whatnot. You know, it's like that's the normal trend, but he just kind of skips that, and you're right there in the craziness. Because, like, the real hero's journey that goes on is Margot Robbie's character, and Manny's character is just, you know, like we said,
That's a great point.
Guy getting pulled along for the ride.
That's a great point. I mean, yeah, she's the one who's like really, you know, pushing her life forward in many ways, and he's the one who, like, it's like when he's like on set or whatever, they're like, go do this for me, and he's just going and doing it. And eventually becomes like a studio head, basically by just following orders in a way. Yeah, that's interesting.
And that's the thing. It's like I like the elephant dung and the peeing and the all of this stuff.
No,
it's like I like all of it.
Yeah.
But like in the same way, the magnet metaphor, it's another metaphor is like, you know, and I mean this in a highly metaphorical way, but like it's like, you know, like having sex with like a condom on. Like it just felt like that. Like it just wasn't. There was something in the way.
I think I see. It's almost like and maybe this is like from watching so many movies, and it just doesn't, like, there's something about it that's like, you watch so many movies, you start to see the artifice behind it, and especially when you make them too, you know the artifice behind it, so that's why it might not work, is like, obviously this is in my head because we just talked about it because I saw it, but it's almost the same as like the ending of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood when he's like slamming this girl's head into the fucking fireplace.
Yeah.
And like everyone's just bleeding out. It's like,
yes.
It's like I'm able to tell myself this is not real. Even if I'm covering my eyes and like, oh my God, this is disgusting. You know, there's a part of me that's like, okay, this is for effect. This doesn't feel like a person actually dying in front of me. A person actually getting shit on in front of me. And that's a great sequence. Like, now that I'm actually thinking about the sequence, like, it's such a well done sequence. Yeah, I don't know who the next guy is. I mean, the next Damien Chazelle's a part of that category. He's like the same age as like Robert Eggers. We talk about him like he's like an old school guy, but he's not.
Yeah. Eggers is doing well, dude. I can't wait for Christmas Carol.
That's like a Robin Hood situation, too.
It's just, everything's so right.
It's like always told. You know, it's a story that's... I haven't seen... Did you see... What's the newest one? Nosferatu?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Worth it?
I mean...
Except not as much of an Eggers head.
It is.
As most people.
It is, and it's most...
But I'm not a horror guy.
I'm just... ideologically, I have issues with it. Like, but like, that's just... Like
filmmaking wise?
Yeah. I'm trying to think of how to put it. But no, it's a good movie. And that's it's like The Witch, The Lighthouse. They're not like those aren't my like, favorite movies of all time or anything, but they're good. And he knows what he does, and it feels like Christmas Carol is like gonna be the perfect alignment between like something people have an expectation for, because that's the whole thing with today's industry. It's like people need to have an expectation for it. It's like Christmas Carol is a piece of IP that people know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like it feels like it's meant for him, because it's like I feel like people are gonna love an actually like scary Christmas Carol that like if anyone can like recreate like Dickens London, it's gonna be Eggers, and it's gonna be gritty, and it's gonna be real. I think.
Yeah, I'm so curious about that.
I think we're in for it.
I think I'll actually like that one. I think Willem Dafoe is a good casting.
No, I think that movie's going to take over
right.
this country. I really do.
You think that'll be the family Christmas movie of the year?
I think it will clear 100 million opening weekend. Lock it in.
You're insane.
Nosferatu made, I think, 50
It did make
million
a lot more than I thought it would.
Weekend. Yeah, I think it made 50. So I'm like, I think
we'll come back to this when it comes out, but I'm gonna say
I feel like it's the movie the entire humanity's have been waiting for. Is what I'm
gonna say. It opens to. I'm gonna say it opens to. Let me see what Nosferatu opened to.
I think it was 50 mil. It's just I'm just putting a guess out there. I want you to look it up so you can be like it was 51 million. Is my final guess.
Where's the frickin' box office? Okay.
51. Opening weekend.
Gosh, they're not giving me good. Okay. Okay, so it debuted to 21 opening weekend with a total of 40 over the 5-day weekend, because I think it was a holiday weekend.
In the
so
U.S.?
They counted it as a 5-day. Yes.
Okay.
Which is good.
Yeah.
I don't know why I can't see like a good estimate of this. Box Office Mojo like doesn't really like do a good job anymore, because it doesn't show international as well.
IMDb locks it in. My dumbass was thinking of the budget, which is 50 million.
No, I thought it was that too. I genuinely thought it was that. It made like 180 million.
Yeah, worldwide.
Or something like.
Yeah. Did you just guess that out of your ass? Were you looking at that, or did you guess that out of your ass?
What, 180?
Yeah, did you what?
I was just looking at it, but I was just looking at it.
Okay.
Is that right though?
Yeah, it's 181 million.
Okay.
I just wanted to give you credit if there was to be credit given.
So I definitely like saw it, but not realize I saw it. I bet Christmas Carol makes 220.
Robert Eggers might be. He Nosferatu was really good.
You know what I think matters, and I think people don't realize this matters, is I think the supporting cast. Like, if you have a good director, like people will say there's no movie stars anymore. It's all about the movie. It's all about the director. It's all about this. It's all about that. Like, what is the one thing that we can guarantee a hit movie? And it's like, you need everything now. You need a good idea, you need a good director, and you need good cast members. Like, if Robert Eggers came out with fucking Christmas Carol with... Who's someone who you'd be like... With, like, Bill Murray, you'd be like, oh, I don't know if that's right.
All right, you can go ahead. No, you can go ahead and put me down. Robert Eggers is the greatest current working filmmaker. You can put that down. You can put
that'll
that
be
down.
The title of this episode. And we won't get to it till hour 45 in, hour 50 in.
No, it's just dawning on me now. Like he's the great like he's gonna Christmas Carol is gonna fucking blow the world in half. How good it is, and whatever comes next after that is gonna be absurd. Like whatever's after that is gonna be like the first like $1 billion opening movie. I'm sure of it. I'm absolutely sure of it.
Robert Eggers' Christmas Carol is gonna blow the world in half. You are... Oh my god! If I were in a studio right now and you're like pitching this movie to me to sell, I'd like laugh you out of the office. I mean, I'd still let you make it, but
we'll end the podcast here because we're wrapping up. But it's like what growing up, I sense this in my soul. It's like what people desire is like reality. We want real shit. Like for whatever reason, that's where the world was. And like I can point to this and say this is true because all of a sudden all these animated movies started getting live action remakes, right? It's like, okay, so it's like there's this natural want that people want shit to feel real, and like, you know, I won't, because we're at the end of the podcast, I won't spread this out too wide, but people want real, and like the only place that you can find real right now is like, you know, in a movie from Cannes or whatnot, which is ultimately boring. And so the greatest cross that you can make is like a fully real movie that's for an American audience, but at the same time is an elevation above reality because it's like about something like fantastical. And like what I saw from Nosferatu was that, where it's like he's making something so real, but he's making it appealing to Americans, and it's about something fantastical. And like that's what Christmas Carol is going to be. And so it's like, I don't know. That's when I feel like it's just going to scratch the deepest itch in humanity's heart when that movie comes out.
I mean, I think this is like the burning question is like, if you look at like was it Jim Carrey who did it?
Yeah.
Like if you look at the Jim Carrey Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
Like visually, I have to look at a picture of it right now. But I from my memory, visually, like I like the look of it, if that makes sense. Like it feels right in a sense.
Yeah. I agree.
And I think like tonally, if it's similar tonally to the Zemeckis one, like if we can bring kids to it, I could see it making a lot of money. But if it's like dark as fuck,
yeah,
like gothic and like,
yeah,
like is it gonna be Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, or is it gonna be Guillermo del Toro's, what's that gothic movie he made with Tom Hiddleston?
Crimson Peak.
Is it going to be like Crimson Peak, which I don't think was as dark as the trailers hinted, but
no.
Is it going to look like Crimson Peak horror, or is it going to look like Pinocchio, where it's like this is a classic tale, but we're adding a grunge and a dirtiness to it that's honest and real?
Yeah, I think if you saw Nosferatu, you'd have a much clearer idea of what this movie's about to be. But it's gonna, I think it's gonna feel like the Jim Carrey Christmas Carol. But it's
you think so? I mean, is Nosferatu not scary?
Nosferatu, no, not family wise, but like, well, for me, it's like the Jim Carrey Christmas Carol got a little scary, like the Marley. It
looks
scenes.
like it would. It looks like it would. I haven't seen it, but like visually, I remember like seeing trailers and being like, oh, this has like an edge to it a little bit.
Yeah, just if you watch Nosferatu and be like, now imagine this the Christmas Carol, you'll see exactly what's going on, and it's gonna be freaking sick. But yeah, you did touch on something that's like it's like that's what I like. Remember how long we waited on Del Toro's Pinocchio?
How long?
Yeah. Do you remember how long?
No, was he working on it for years or something?
Yeah, like 10 years. I don't know if he was working on it the whole time, but it was announced in like 2012, and it didn't come out until 20 whatever.
I just got to say something?
Yeah.
I have like 3 minutes left of my recording time.
That's perfect. This will be the last thing.
Okay.
But like I remember like, oh my gosh. Imagine if we're getting like this dark, grungy Pinocchio movie. That's going to be sick. That's not what we ended up getting, unfortunately. But like that's what everyone on Earth wanted. You're like, you're shitting me. Del Toro's gonna make a Pinocchio movie. Because like the Disney one, it's like already a little scary, a little off-putting. It's like, yes, like give me this, and then it didn't quite deliver on it. And like that's what I'm talking about, where it's like this real, like people are craving this like darkly real version of things that we love. And like for me, I'm like Christmas Carol is gonna be that. Yeah, like I don't imagine if he pulls back and makes it more family friendly. I don't think it'll be good. But if he makes it like where Nosferatu was coming from, I think it's gonna hit.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I genuinely don't think Robert Eggers. I don't think I haven't seen The Witch, but like even with that, I'm like, has he ever had to listen to a studio? Like when he made Nosferatu, was anyone giving him notes, or was he like, or they're like, well, we're not going to give you the budget, and he's like, okay, I'm just not going to make the movie. Give me a budget where I don't have to listen to you.
Yeah,
I don't imagine he ever like will listen to someone.
No,
and I think people respect him. And I think you're right. Like, I don't know if I agree completely that he's the best working filmmaker. I'd have to think about it. But, like, looking at his history and how he got started, like, he's definitely thinking, like, 10 steps ahead of everyone watching, I imagine.
Yeah. And that's why I'm like, whatever's
like,
coming
detail-wise and, yeah.
Whatever's coming after Christmas Carol is going to be, I think it might blow the world in half. I think.
We're so funny. We're like we're in a group talking about movies and people are like, dude, Robert Eggers is big in Christmas Carol. It's like, yeah, but what he's going to do after is going to be sick. And it's like, what are you talking about? It's like, we don't even know what that is. Like, he doesn't even know what that is. It's like, no, but like, that's the one I'm looking forward to.
No, that's the one that's like, that's going to be the, like, how did Slumdog Millionaire make $450 million in theaters? That were like, where did that go? That's going to be whatever's after. It's going to be like,
how do you think it's going to be a moneymaker?
I think it's going to come out and it's going to have no IP. No one's going to care about who's in it, and it's just going to be such a good, unbelievable movie that it's going to make like $500 million, and no one's going to really know why, and just because it's so good.
Well, we'll be able to check back at this podcast whenever in like fucking 8 years when that happens.
I hope this ages hilariously, and it's like next to an absolute box office flop, and it's this audio.
He does a Marvel movie, and it's
like. All right. Well, good pod.
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
We'll title this one F1 / Tarantino / Eggers. I think we had a few smaller topics in there, but I guess Babylon. Yeah. Those are the four things. We're F1 / Tarantino / Babylon / Eggers. Locked
you could even like skip ahead like some stuff if it was boring at all. Like when you listen, I guess you're gonna have to listen back to this.
Definitely not the whole thing. But
not the whole thing. I mean, I will once you post it. Once we post it, once you send it back to me and I post it, I'll probably listen back to it all. But
sick.
Anyway, we'll sign off and then we'll sign off and then we'll talk about what we're gonna do with it.
All right. Well, thank you for coming back after a long hiatus for another episode of Soft Focus. We're gonna be back next week with How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh yes.
So look forward to it.
Thank you for listening.
Have a good day.
Bye.